So, hi everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of our Wet Coast Wolves podcast. Welcome to our returning viewers, and welcome to new viewers. We've had a whole bunch of new subscribers in the last 5 days. It's crazy. I love it. So yeah, welcome to all of the new subscribers, and hopefully you'll stick around and leave some comments on our Ravelry group, which you can find on the Wet Coast Woolies Ravelry group page. Yeah, we are excited to meet you and hear from you. And yeah, so I'm Glenda.
I was like, who are you?
You can find me on Ravelry. My username is just Glenda. And we are also on there as Wet Coast Wolves for the store account. And I had a question about that recently, and the projects on there tend to be samples that we have in the store. So if you do happen to come in the store and see something you like, go on our Ravelry page, and we do our best to keep those projects up to date, just in case you're wondering.
I'm Bernadette, also known as Eco Geek, classily spelled in lead speak with numbers like this.
That looks so funny because I forget you have to put that up after.
Yeah.
I wanted to magically
this invisible space. Whee! Yeah. It's a long story about why that's my name. But it's that, and I can't get the same name on all platforms anymore. So
oh yeah, so now you might have to find a new one.
No, that's what it is forever. We're just gonna stick with it. I also can't think of anything better. So
it's the advantage of having a really unusual name. You can get your name often on things.
My name keeps showing up in 700 places. I've met 3 Bernadettes in the past
cool.
2
it's
weeks.
like a cool name.
Yeah, but they're
why.
my age, and I was I don't.
Yeah.
The young ones I understand because of Big Bang Theory.
Right. Okay.
Which I hate, but I understand. But I just don't understand the ones that are my age or older. But not old, because it was there was a period of time where no one was named my name.
There was a couple of films though with Bernadette as characters.
Also Bernadette Peters, I think that might have done it.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
She has fabulous red hair, and I think she's an actress. At least she might be a Broadway actress specifically. Okay. But what was I gonna say? So, just to get out of the way, hi everyone from the retreat.
Yes, hello everyone. I
laughed super hard. Hi Bernadette. Hi everyone.
Well, we missed you. You needed to be there.
It was just
crazy
really
conversations
funny.
with
What's
us.
great is the same clip keeps showing up. So every time I see it on a different podcast, I'm like, hello again.
It's because we did a bit. So if you are just tuning in and don't know, there was an Okanagan knitting retreat last weekend in Sorrento, BC. This is something that actually, I think this was the 18th year it's been going on. And it was my second year going. And this year I met up with Marsha and Scylla from Twitch and Stitch podcast, and Shannon from the Socksetera podcast, and someone I hadn't met before, Carla from the Knit Nicks podcast. She's based out of Calgary. So we all ended up at the workshop, at the retreat. I went last year, and so I wanted to go again this year, and then they all said that they were going, so I'm not sure. I know Marsha had been 2 years ago, but I'm not sure if they asked Shannon or how that all worked out. But we had a podcast meetup, and it was really fun. So yeah, the workshop, it was fun. It was Friday, officially from Friday evening until Sunday. There were extra classes on Friday morning if you wanted to take them. We went up on Thursday night. I ended up driving up with Shannon because she was smart enough to email me and ask if we wanted to carpool. And we had a really good time. And it was great getting to know Shannon, and then getting to meet Marsha and Scylla and Carla and Vicky and Bonnie and I can't remember everyone else's name. And Monique. Some people had messaged me before I went, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's you, because Ravelry names are not.
Does Vicky have a podcast? Or
I
was she just
don't
hanging
know.
out with you guys all weekend? Because you were like, and Vicky. And
Yeah,
no,
I don't think she has a podcast. I think
Okay.
she's from Vernon, and I think she is in touch with Marsha and Scylla a lot.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So I was just I saw her in pictures. You guys talked about her. I'm
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at how people happen to know everybody. I just kind of show up and be like, hi, and then I get to know them.
It's all good. I just needed
fun.
context. I was trying to figure it out on the internet, and I'm no idea.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, so anyway, let's get going on knitting, because, yeah.
I have all the foes.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I have, one to show and one that I showed last time. So I'll do you want to do one and...
It depends on how you want to do it. I don't mind doing a parade of foes.
Okay, I'll do mine quickly, and we'll get that out of the way, because you've kind of technically already seen it.
Lot.
And so I finished
Here, I'll help you.
the blanket. Let's put it sideways.
It'll be a lot of blanket showing today.
So that's the blanket, which I'm covering my whole face with.
It's beautiful. Here, you can pull it over my face and you can talk about it.
So it's it's Diamond Tradition, which is a wool acrylic nylon blend, machine wash, tumble dry safe, perfect for blankets. And it's the Granny Stripes pattern from Attic 24. It's a blanket monster. And then I just finished it, so I just did all the rows in the whatever. There's like 6 repeats of my color pattern, and then the edge is just like a really basic round of clusters just all the way around, just to kind of finish it off. And so this is for our friend Kathleen. And if you're watching, you've now seen part of your gift, so look surprised when you get it anyway. And then I'm making another one, which I'll show you later, for her. She had twins, so this is for the girl twin, Chloe, and the other one is for Lucas. Yeah, so your turn.
So for those of you who don't know, Stash
Oh gosh.
started on the 27th. So I was saving up a bunch of stuff to do bind-offs with.
She's totally cheating, except that's the point of it, so it's not cheating.
Yes.
I just think it feels like cheating.
It's like fake cheating. So the first thing I don't have, or first thing I finished I don't have, because Brian immediately stole them and put them on his feet, and I haven't gotten them back. But I did finish my Norwegian Ridgeback socks. I will try and put in a picture here. I don't know if I'll be able to put it in or if it will be separate, but I'll try and put it here. So those are done. I also finished, for the OMG Heel class that I was teaching, the Hattrick ankle socks are done. I will warn Sam to not let Steve watch this, so we don't have to do a big warning again.
That was pretty funny. Mike got a real kick out of that.
Ooh, I will not hit the microphone. But it's the Colorado colorway, OMG heel, or OMG sock pattern, 64 stitches. I don't knit a lot of ankle socks. Steve won't wear longer socks for some reason. I don't understand why you want wool on just your foot and not on
maybe he's warm
the rest
feet.
of you. I don't know. Whatever. They're for his birthday. They're done. I'm excited. And that took about 56 grams. Me and his fiance split the skein, so she has the other part so she can knit herself socks because she really liked the colorway. Although Brian saw me knitting them and had like serious sock envy. So if it's still haunting his dreams, I will I'll pick up a skein at Knit City. Because they will be there.
What's his team? Does he have a favorite team?
No. He just liked the colors.
Of course, because it's purple.
Yeah. He's in a weird purple place right now, and I don't fully understand it. So the other thing I have, which added a lot of cheater yardage to Stash Dash, is the sweater I'm wearing. It's the Crazy Stripes tee. I will stand up. It's kind of shorter. Oh, look. You can actually see it. So it's the Crazy Stripes tee. And I'll turn around, but it looks the same on the back. I
love the shaping. It's so cute.
It's fantastic. Although technically this has been in hibernation since 2014. So when I started knitting this, I was a baby knitter. It was one of the first things I remember knitting when I started working here.
Oh yeah, I remember we were trying to figure out what was going on with the short rows.
Yeah, because you like the short rows, you start doing the bottom, and I'm like, what is happening? Because I thought I was doing something wrong. So it'd been sitting in hibernation for forever, because I knit this, well, the first thing is that it originally in the pattern has 3/4 length sleeves, and it's essentially a giant color block, and that was bothering me, and I couldn't get them to fit properly. So what I did is I cut off the sleeves that I knit, like just chopped them right off and put on ribbing, which is the knitting I did for Stash Dash. But also this sweater, it has some German short rows in it, and because I was a baby knitter when I picked my yarn, it's 100% acrylic. It's very nice and soft, but I was a baby knitter and didn't know any better. So the short rows haven't blocked out super well. Washing it, machine wash and drying it helped it a little bit, but it is a little bit. It kind of looks like a cat got friendly with it and went nyam 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 on top of it. Well, like you know, cats like pot things. Yeah, like they pot things, right? So it kind of looks like that, but I'm gonna live with it because it was a lot of work. It also took me a whole day to weave it ends, like literally about at least 12 hours.
Yeah, it's super cute though. This is why, see, the last time I talked about wanting to do the cardigan version of this series, and this is why I saw this sweater, and I'm like, yeah, I need one of those, but I don't want to, well, I don't know, now I kind of like the pullover, but then I need a third color.
No, you can do it in 2 colors.
Oh.
I'm considering doing it in 2 colors. I'm considering taking that up a tree skein you have and the gray I have and doing one of those, possibly some navy, because I also have some Patton's Croix from like the 60s that I have for some reason in my stash, and I'm considering putting them all together. Yeah, it's great though if it survived a war.
Yeah. No, and Peyton's yarns, it's like that blanket that I did out of the old ancient classic merino. That is the softest yarn ever, and I so wish that it was still that nice. But now it's just classic wool, not classic merino. So
it's still good wool.
It is,
my
but
sweater's made out of that.
It's nowhere near as soft though. Like that blanket is so squishy. I love it.
So I have even more faux. I'm sorry. I also should I show the blanket or
I want to see this ginormous blanket.
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this. Brian occasionally buys me yarn as like a joke or a challenge. And Brian works right by a Michael's. So he saw this gigantic yarn that is, I'm not joking, about that thick around about my eyeball. Like a solid loonie for Canadians. For Americans, I don't know, like a silver dollar, a Sacagawea gold coin. I have no idea. It's about that big around. And he was just like, he bought it in the tackiest colors known to man, which I love. So I was like, tacky ginormous yarn, I should make a ginormous granny square blanket.
Here, let me help you hold this thing.
So it is super dense and I love it.
And it's crazy heavy. Oh my
super
gosh,
heavy.
it feels like a carpet.
Yeah, it might end up being a carpet, but for right now.
That'd be a really cool rug, actually.
Yeah, it's really soft, but like, I don't know. I might hurt Brian's feelings, but it's
what size hook
huge.
did you use?
I used a 12mm hook because I couldn't.
That's it?
Yes. I couldn't bear to use anything bigger. But, so, what I did initially is I knit, I don't even know if you can hear me through this thing, it probably blocks sound.
Yeah.
So I did a granny square until it was big enough to fit over my lap, which is for scientific purposes about that wide. So
super accurate. I love it.
I was just like, I should put measurements on my Ravelry. I'm like, that would require work.
We'll do it later.
Yeah, so it's like slightly smaller than my wingspan, and I'm like 5'4" on a good day. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've had people correct me on my height before. In my head,
taller than me anyway. That's the important part.
In my head, I'm 6 foot tall, so like I'm not. But so it's about that wide.
Like, lap blanket, like
yeah, it's about the size of a lap blanket. It fits on my lap really well. So I did that until a granny square, until it was wide enough to go around my lap, and then I did granny stripes at the top just to add some more length. Also, because I had 6 balls of this, which was only like 500.
Yeah, they're pretty small yardage.
Meters. Yeah, there was like 90 meters per.
So crazy.
But it's crazy and ginormous, and tacky. And I love it. It's like super ugly. And I kind of like, so it's, I don't know if you can see, I don't even know if our lighting's any better over here, but it's like orange and pink and purple and tan and like all these really weird colors. And it's also a single ply, so it's already fuzzing. I'd like to say for the record, I did not buy the single ply. Brian bought the single ply. It was a challenge blanket. And you will all be seeing the challenge he set for me previously, which is another crazy, super bulky acrylic blanket.
Tell him that he needs to start buying a challenge wool from here. And then
he bought me a sweater quantity that I just haven't gotten around to yet. But yeah, so this is a thing that happened. I spent most of yesterday working on it, and it's been on the hook since 25th or like December. So that's done, and I have spinning foes, and then I will tell you my total yardage for Ravelry. Stash. I am winning.
Oh,
spoilers.
Yeah, she's. I'm kind of already admitting defeat here. Like
no.
This is, but
it's
but I don't know
fun because
I was going through my box because this is the problem. I have like, I think somebody on the weekend asked me how many like works in progress I have on the go. The ones I show you are the ones that I've worked on this week. The ones that are not shown are like the 52 other things that have been sitting in my project box for ages. So I'm determined to get all of those finished. Plus, I think part of my challenge was to do 4 fingering weight sweaters by August. This is like all, I don't know, self-inflicted punishment, but I'm determined it will happen. And so I'm hoping this is a race where she's in the lead in the beginning, and then at the end I'm gonna come running out from behind and win.
Wait till you guys do the other gigantic blanket. There's no way. Okay, so I also saved a bunch of stuff to ply for Stash Dash. Because I've officially been a spinner for like almost a year now, which is terrifying because time goes too quickly. So I did this guy. We're really far from the camera.
I know.
It's a Corriedale 90% Corriedale, 10% nylon, from Aurelia Fibres. It's Unwind Fibre.
Oh, Aurelia, I think is how she pronounced it. I don't know.
It's great. I love her stuff. I love Corriedale. It's fantastic to spin. It was going to be socks initially, and then I've gotten into this wonderful habit of coming home from work, spinning and drinking a beer. It's not fingering weight in any capacity anymore. I think I don't know. It's some yardage that I put in my Ravelry and can't remember. It's enough to do a thing. But it's like navies and greens, and yeah, it's her Van Gogh colorway, I think. I don't know why, but it's really pretty. And then this guy, which I bought, was a bat originally. Ooh, can you see it? So I feel like Grace Helbig. It's really pretty. It is a merino, alpaca, bamboo, faux cashmere bat that I bought. I was like, I could look at this thing that tells me these things. From Calliope's Fibers at Knit City. 2 years ago when I got all excited about drop spindling and then immediately decided I hated drop spindling. But it's really soft, and I bought it because it looks like candy corn. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's about 100 yards of probably like a bulky or an Aran or something.
I wonder if it would go with...
It's so soft feel. It's like a cloud.
Ooh, wow.
It's
nice.
Crazy. I saved my singles just to squish them, and they're amazing.
Wow. I was just thinking that skein of Bray tweed, the sample that we got, I wonder, it might...
I have a plan for that braid tweed, though.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going to make a mustard scarf out of it.
Oh, fun.
Because it's like US 15, so you knit till you run out of yarn. You throw a giant button on it.
Fun, perfect.
So, with that guy and, like, all of the stuff, I have... I know, I saw that. I have 20...
Oh, yes, on camera.
2,437 meters for Stash Dash. Towards my probably 10K, but aiming for 15K goal. I still have 2 more sweaters I haven't edited.
Yeah.
I have my giant blanket. Giant blanket, the rainbow blanket, and just like the royal ton of socks I am knitting, and my spinning, because I started more spinning.
Okay, so wait, you said you're at 2,400?
Yeah.
I'm at 1,830 with those 2 projects that I showed. Well, the dotted rays and the blanket.
We're not competitive at all. Okay.
Okay.
You can talk about your whips.
Whips, okay.
You can. I shall allow it.
Gee, thanks. Okay. So I'm going to start with the crochet that I was working on that I had to put down. Okay, this is totally, I just realized we totally forgot to thank Becca for the super cool animation that she made for our intro. And Becca Johansson is her full name. She's a local, well, she's one of our regulars and a really good friend of ours. And she's also a filmmaker. And she's had films in a lot of festivals. Sorry, I had a rough morning today. I can't think. And she just had one. She made a film, and I think it's going onto the festival circuit soon, if it's not already there. And it's about a Roomba, and it guest stars our Roomba from the store, who is sad and dead, and yeah, his battery's not doing well. Anyway, so yeah, thanks Becca for that super cool animation.
And I also
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited to see it.
It's super cute. I also wanted to say, I realized I've never said thank you publicly to my brother who made our theme music. My brother's a sound designer, so for thanking Becca,
yes, we have to thank
my brother.
Which brother?
Gabe.
Yeah. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, I might link his SoundCloud if it's
okay.
Yeah. What he did for our intro was not normal for what he normally does. He normally does like hip hop sound production.
It's a nice one.
So I don't.
Doesn't mean his other stuff isn't nice, but
no,
gentle and calmer. And
yeah, well, like it's a sample track he made for giggles and practice, and I was just like, do you have a thing I could use that is not hip hop? Not that hip hop's great. It's just not the most wonderful intro. So I realized I'm all the way over here.
I was just wondering where the cutoff line was on this. Sorry. Never mind.
On what?
Because like my shoulder's going to the record button, and I don't know where it cuts off in terms of like actual screenage.
I don't know.
So let's put more
I can't remember.
the screen. Anyway,
shuffling around. But anyhow, thank you, Gabe. I will link his SoundCloud. But just if anyone goes there, just he does great hip hop stuff. It's just not, most of his stuff isn't like our intro. He does other random stuff, but yeah. Just a warning. You're like expecting like lovely garden music, and you're like, no, this is not what I was expecting.
Okay, so back to knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the next blanket I'm making.
So pretty. I love
It's
the
so fun.
gray.
Yeah, the gray it pops, like, it's totally different. I love the yellow and the gray. It's like my favorite combination right now. So this one, because it kind of, so originally I was gonna do white as well, and then we might have run out of white on the shelf.
Glad you used all of it.
I did, and then yeah, so, and then I kept the blue and the yellow and the green from the other blanket, but then I decided to swap the bubblegum pink out for this sort of red, which is called Lobster, which I think is like the best name ever. And anyway, so so it's still crochet, just doing a different stitch, and I tried to make it the same width. I think it's pulled in a little bit, so I think it's a little bit like shorter, or narrower, but I don't think it'll matter. This one's more, like, I find it super dense, so I'm afraid it's going to use a ton more yarn as well, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's...
I'm sure when you wash it, it'll wash
Yeah,
it.
I'm digging on a 6mm hook. We got these new ergonomic hook things.
Not for the store, though,
No,
just for us.
we just saw them, and I'm like, oh, let's try those.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, I like it, but the way that I hold my crochet hook, I find it almost... I kind of like my old plastic one better. I don't know why, but maybe it's just the stitch too.
I was enjoying the ergonomic one.
Yeah, and I think I can see for doing toys, because when I do toys, I tend to hold it very tight, and I can see that that'll be helpful, because some of my metal ones, they dig into my hand, because, you know, you're doing this, and, like, because you have to really get your hook in those tight, like when you're crocheting tightly for toys or stiff things or whatever, whereas, of course, blanket, you want it, like, yeah.
Well, on my Cozy Memories blanket, I'm using a wooden hook, and that's actually really nice too, because for me it's like if I grip it too hard, my old lady bones are like, no! So
yeah, the other thing I want to try are there's those handles you get that look like a triangle, and you, Boy made them for a while, I think, and it was like this ergonomic handle, and you take your regular round shaft crochet hook and just drop it in and tighten it. And it gives you, I don't know if they still sell them. They used to have them. Anyway, it gives you this really wide handle because, yeah, if you're doing a lot of really tight crochet, it can be really hard on your wrist. Although I've always find this one where I'm tensioning the yarn, I get all kinds of, like, sore muscles through here. So
we are clearly not taking breaks.
Yes, exactly.
Do you want to, for whip, should we go back and forth since we both have?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my blanket. And you go ahead.
So I
Move that over there.
am knitting some socks for my dad. Trying to get to the end of my row. Should not have said go back and forth because it's not. So I am knitting. Weirdly enough, I only actually have one of them on the needles at the moment, but it's just a plain old vanilla sock for my dad for Father's Day. That's the back. I don't know why. I'll show you the cute stitch marker. It's got space on it. It is vegan yarn in her Pleiades sock in the Fujimoto colorway. I think I showed it on the last podcast as stash enhancement. These will be his Father's Day socks. And now that Steve's socks are off the needles, these will be my vanilla sock knitting, which will drive me insane because there are no stripes in this and my father has giant feet. I actually have his cardboard cutout just to publicly shame him about it.
What size shoes did he wear?
I don't know. It's this size. It's literally the size of my face.
Can't be that long.
It's the size of my face!
Okay, measure.
It's
5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they are. They're 10 and a half inches long.
Yep.
Okay, so they're long.
Yep. And they're, like, wide, too, so it's, like, 72 stitches, and, like, for the rest of my life. It'll be great movie knitting / I can't think knitting.
It's always valuable to have that kind of knitting.
Yeah, but I have separated it into 2 50-gram cakes just so I don't run out. And I'm thinking I'll do a fish lips kiss heel, mainly just because I do that 2 inches before the heel instead of...
It shortens the foot.
Instead of 1 inch, just because yeah. Reasons. And I'm using 2.25mm needles, high sharps, magic looping. Favorite needles for sock knitting ever. We really need more in so I can cast on more socks.
Told me that the order was processing
Good.
like this week, so hopefully it'll get out.
I've been like rotating my stuff around.
I know.
You'll see.
I
use spare holder needles on my other sock so I can cast on the other toe.
We've had some of the sizes that we're out of. We've had them out for ages, and I've ordered them 3 times, and they kind of emailed me back and said, "Are you sure you want to order more? Because you have 3 sets of these on your list." So clearly, we've been in need of them for a little while.
Yep. Okay, what are you working on?
Okay, so
this is not exciting.
Let's go with something creative and fun.
Oh, I was gonna say that these before you these will be for a bajillion summer sock knit along, stack of socks, all the things. This Because socks are great summer knitting. And I'm also just very excited to see how this wears, because it's cotton bamboo elastic. Yeah. And I've never seen how that wears. Okay, now talk about your fun things.
Okay, so this weekend, the workshop that I took was called Start with an Idea, and the idea of the Start with an Idea, sorry. Oh, it's been a bad morning. You came in with an idea and a swatch, and you had to do a... Paulette, the teacher, she's like, this is a woman that I adore her. She's amazing. She comes in to buy yarn for a sweater, and she's like, okay, I need this many for the sweater, and give me one extra so I can swatch. And she will literally swatch with an entire ball of yarn until she gets it right, and it's amazing. So the swatch, I have the swatch, it's another, anyway, we had to do a big minimum 40 stitch swatch, and then, so I did it, and this yarn that I wanted to work with, it's very dark on the screen.
I keep trying to find better lighting in the story,
yeah,
which does not
exist. You know what, last time I was watching the after, and I did notice that I think it looks darker on screen than it does in sometimes in the finished one. I don't know if that's because you edit it well, but it tends to be a little brighter. Anyway.
Not that fancy. I have no idea how to do that.
This is Custom Willamills one-ply yarn, which you can kind of see against. It's fairly thin. Normally, this is the navy color. I think it's 27, the color. It is color 27. Normally we get this in stock in the 2-ply mule spun, so this is one of the 2-plies, and so I thought it'd be fun to try and get some of it on the cone and do it in a thinner version. Unfortunately, what I realized after we got it into the store is that there's a nasty bias to it, which can you see it? So you see how the yarn twists when you hold it together like that?
The single has a lot of energy.
Yes, and the energy of the single...
terms.
Well, because I'm not a spinner, but the more... Yes, sure. Talk to Mike about that one. I need an extra room for spinning.
You do not need a lot of space for spinning. Trust me, I spun in my closet of a bedroom yesterday. It's a thing you can do.
I'm worried about the storage.
The storage is a problem. You are also just creating more stash. But it's pretty.
Anyway, so when you knit, if you knit with a biased yarn, your rectangle does this. And suddenly it goes, and depending on how bad your bias is, it can be just slightly off, or it can be way off, or whatever. And sorry, just check the time. I've got to go through this faster. Anyway,
we're good. We got tons of time.
Okay. Long story short, I needed to find a stitch pattern that would not bias, and the way you do that is you put a lot of purls into it. You can't do stocking stitch. You need lots
not in the round.
Yeah, yeah. So you cannot knit in the round. Exactly. And I've actually seen. There are certain stitch patterns that will bias really badly. Someone came in with one of Hohi's sweaters. I forget which one it was, but it's top down, and from about just under the bust line down, it's done with like a double stacked seat stitch. So you knit one, purl one, but you do it in like double height rows. If that makes any sense. And that stitch in itself biases. So, and the person was knitting it with an alpaca yarn, which has zero memory. So the bias of the stitch caused the yarn to bias. And suddenly it's when you get like, okay, your seam starts here and it ends up doing this. And then you have, very twisty. So I didn't want that with the sweater. So I decided I found this rib pattern. Let's see if I can show you. It doesn't really show off. You can kind of see the texture.
Yeah, you can see it.
I love it. It's called Cartridge Belt Rib. It's actually really easy. It's like knit 3, slip 1 with yarn in front, and you do that. It's just offset on the other row. And then it gets this great texture to it. And so anyway, I decided to this is my sweater that I'm going to make, and it's going to be pullover, long sleeved, lots of ease. I think it's like 6 inches of ease that I gave myself.
How unusual for you.
I know, right? Shocking. And it's going to have like a collar that you can stand up, and then probably some sort of a Henley neck with buttons. Long sleeves, very long sleeves. I was skiing. I haven't been skiing in 2 years. I was sailing on the long weekends, freezing my butt off on the boat and thinking, I wish I had a big cozy sweater with a high collar that I could put on over top of all of my other 16 layers. And then just, because 2 layers of wool was not enough, I clearly needed a third. So this is the sweater that's going to give me that third layer. And so this was my project for that weekend. And we had all kinds of problems with the gauge. This piece, it's supposed to be 20 inches wide. When I cast it on, it was 26.5 inches wide. And the texture pulled it in so much over the knitting. It was because I was convinced it was going to be too big at first. And I'm like, my swatch is lying to me, but apparently it wasn't.
Swatches do that, though.
They can, and that was why I was worried. And even Paulette looked at it and she's like, that's crazy. That shouldn't be happening. But so it worked out. So yeah, I'm calling it my sailing sweater. and because it's also some blue yarn. But I love this yarn too. Like, it looks a little holey in the picture. On the camera, it actually blooms like crazy when you wash the stuff. So it's going to be nice and squidgy, and I'm so excited to have it finished. And it's going to use lots and lots of yardage.
Still going to beat you. Okay, well, since we're talking about sweaters, I'll talk about my sweater and the 700 knitting attacks that happened to this. Oh my god. The trials of this sweater, you guys have no idea. Okay, so the Anouk cardigan that I was knitting
Distracted by your cuffs.
week. No,
Are those buttonholes?
Yes, buttons get put on it. I'll show you the buttons. So I knit this entire sweater. Like button bands and everything.
Oh my.
Like the whole thing was done. I was ready to put the yardage into Stash Dash. And then I put the sweater on my body. And it's supposed to look cute like... Nothing's on this page. Okay. It's supposed to look cute like this. Right? Nice fitted thing. It's supposed to have like 3 inches of negative ease. I added 2 extra stitches under the arm. Would not have helped. Okay, I literally had like... There was a 40-inch bust happening on me. 36-inch bust person.
How was your gauge so off?
I don't know. My swatch did not lie. I double-checked my swatch. My swatch was technically correct.
Was it a big swatch?
It was my normal size. It was about this big.
Not a big swatch.
Well, I mean, like, it shouldn't have lied that much. I washed the thing. I don't know what happened. So I had to rip the entire body out. I'm in the past me, in the middle of a row. But, like, that's why I now just have, like, sleeves.
Oh, no. Did the sleeves fit, though, right?
Yeah, the sleeves fit fine.
Okay.
I've done, like, a ton of decreases under the arms now. So I ripped back, and I think I've decreased, like, 6 stitches. Because it literally had, like, this... It's kind of doing it a little bit still now. You can see... Maybe I'm crazy. Probably. You probably can't see that. But it's there's a tiny pocket that was here under the arm. Yeah, you can't see that at all.
From just the rapid decrease?
No, before. Like,
okay.
Okay, so, like, the sweater in my head went like this towards my waist.
Yeah.
Right? It went like this and then down.
Oh.
So it literally had, like...
And, like, ballooned into the arm.
Like, a pocket.
It's raglan, right?
Pockets. Yeah, there was, like, a pocket.
Is the raglan...
I should have had.
But is the raglan too long for your body?
Also possible, because it was a weird increase, or weird... thingy.
Yeah.
It was a slower increase.
Because that's a really long...
It is a pretty deep raglan.
And I've had... the first top-down raglan I ever did, which kind of put me off them for a long time, was too long, and you get the balloon, the pouchy thing here.
That was... Like, I do get those, but normally it's on the front bit. This was in a very weird, specific under boob, or side under armpit area.
Weird.
And, like, ooh.
That was a big truck.
Yeah, and, like, sometimes I can live with it. And, like, sometimes it's not a problem or anything. But, like, I couldn't live with this because it looked like a lovely, amply chested woman had put on my sweater. And it would have fit someone with lovely acres of land wonderfully. Not so much me.
Nice description.
Thanks. Monty Python. So, like, I've ripped everything back. Hopefully I'll have it done for next week.
Yeah.
It's driving me insane. So, like, I'm not super motivated to work on it. But it does have buttons for the sleeves. I'll show you those because it's super cute. I got these at Dresso. They're, like, blue.
I love
pretty
Dresso buttons.
So those are going to go on the sleeves. See those?
Oh, I like those.
And then I got these guys when I was in Belfast, I think, last year. They're little terracotta buttons that look like they're from an old plate. And I have 6 of those, and they're going to go on the front. Yeah, we got these at the Ulster History Museum, I think.
Oh, fun.
And it was, honestly, if you're ever... I'm probably getting the name wrong. I will probably be correcting myself. It is the best natural history museum I've ever been to in the entire world. Brad and I nerded out for like a solid day. Or no, half a day, because we went there, and then I got my giant tattoo done. And then, yeah, so that was our day of nerding out. But I do love the yarn. The sweater is okay. I'm mad at it at the moment, which is also why I have 300 things to show.
That's the Brooklyn... Breaks in the Little.
That's the entire
Is
body.
that which one? Is that the Royal or the Tuffy?
Regal?
Oh yeah, the Royal's the other one.
So I have like all these tiny.
I almost bought some of the Tuffy at the weekend away. There was someone selling yarn there, and I was trying to it was going to be that color, and I was talking myself out of it. I'm like, I do not need another gray sweater.
See, I do.
I mean, I do, but yeah, I was, and also yeah. Anyway, I talked myself out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so my next one, and I wanted to show. I thought stitch marker going flying.
I will grab it.
It's probably yours.
Nope, that's not mine.
Oh, it's got to be left over from dropping then. This is my amazing Socksetera bag. I just wanted to show you from the lovely Shannon of Socksetera. And she gave me this on the weekend because she's so cool. It's so funny. She had all of these bags. She brought some to sell and some for people. And they were all these crazy bright colors. And I'm like, oh, I love that one, the gray one. It's like, I mean, it's got fun plaid inside, but of all of the crazy fun colors, I picked like the subdued, and I don't know what that says about my personality. Oh well, I love it.
There's nothing wrong with that. It makes your yarn stand out.
That's true. So this is my Edie tee that I showed you last week, or last time. So you can see it's all finished on the body.
Yay!
It's a little bit long, I think. I did the 15, it was supposed to be 15 inches and then short row on the front and back. You can see, I think you can see the hem, how it goes. Just here, it's like longer, like, yeah, the side hem is short, and then there's like short rows front and back to sort of make it longer. I haven't blocked it yet, so it still rolls up a bit, but I feel like, I'm going to throw it on and show you. I feel like it comes down to, I haven't actually had it on with jeans. I don't know when my Lululemons.
Oh, it's a good length.
Mike was saying it was a good length. I feel like it's too long.
No, it's a good length for a t-shirt.
And it's going to, I'll block it this way. A little bit, like it's not been blocked, so it needs a little bit of.
I love you're just like, I pull
out everywhere.
Yeah.
So it needs a neckline still, and it needs sleeves. You do like 6 rows of sleeves, like 6 serious, like an inch length, an extra inch on the length of the sleeves. But it's super fun. I really like it. I followed the pattern exactly. I didn't do any extra shaping. Well, they're probably off from where they're supposed to be because I can't count rows. But yeah, so. That's my tea so far. It should be done this week. I'm hoping to finish it today. Did I bring the needles today? Yes, I brought the needles. So I'm hoping I have this much yarn left. Otherwise, I have to go into another skein. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to do the edging, and then I'll just do the sleeves with whatever I've left. And then if they're like 5 rows instead of 6 rows, that's too bad.
That's a batiste, right?
It is. It's batiste, so it's a wool linen silk mix. Super soft, so nice. And much of this was from a sweater. I think I said before I ripped it out last year and reknit it into this. And that's why I don't want to use one more skein, because then I don't have to go into the last new skein, because I can put it back on the shelf.
There you go. It's probably helpful because people want to knit the things you're knitting. Okay.
Fluff in my eye
we'll do this because this is the closest thing to me.
Stick my fingers in my eye.
That's okay. Okay. So I, after I finished Brian's socks, I had to cast on my brown bag sock club for me, and I thought I'd continue to participate in the Grocery Girls Fancy Feet Cal. So my crazy brain ends the 14th of June.
Oh, okay, that's not happening for me.
I'm like, I think I can. Okay, so this is my holder needle. Because I cast on my toe, and this is like a really like
that's
ghetto,
a terrifying needle.
Yeah, it's a ghetto needle I got at Knit City a couple years ago that I tried to magic loop with, and I'm just like, this is atrocious. But it's holding my other toe, and it has this really fun little, I think it's dopamine molecule on it. I love it. It's great. But okay, so it will get transferred over to real needles when this one gets past its heel. So this is the Expanding Community sock. Can you see? Yes, you can. Yay!
When you wrote that in the show notes, I'm like, that's got to be spelled wrong. And then I'm like, oh no, wait, it's a pun.
It's a pun. It's another Megan Williams pattern because I am slightly addicted.
Which yarn is that?
It is the Diamond Select Footsie.
I was wondering. Gosh, I have to get that color in again. It's great.
Well, it's as previously stated. It will pull no matter what you do. Like, okay, so this sock pattern has garter stitch sections in it, and it's a really easily memorizable pattern. It's super stretchy, so I did the 56 stitch size because it's got an extra large heel. It's got the spacious OMG, so I'm going to try that, see how that works on my foot with the garter stitch. But yeah, it's going to pool. This yarn will pool no matter what you do. I've put other yarns in between. I've done slight pearl patterns. I've done red patterns. I've done literally everything you can do. Like, I've added garter stitch, and I don't know if you guys can still see, but it's still definitely pooling. Like,
on the back, you can see it more.
Yeah, but like this side is the side that would be broken up.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, okay. Weird noises are coming from outside. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, you can see the back. It's pooling, and even so it's doing a similar thing on the front, and I have my little bee stitch marker on there, if you guys can see. Yeah, so that's that. Hopefully I'll have these done for the 14th. Also, because we've also picked Brian's brown bag sock. It's finally a self-striping yarn, and I just need vanilla socks. I was gonna knit some fine and dandy socks after, and I'm just like, I can't. I just want to go around and around and around and around in a tube and not do anything else. Because I want to work on my April, and I can't work on my April if all my braining's going towards my socks, and it's literally just sitting in a pile.
I still haven't cast my April on. Gosh.
Okay. Do you have more whips?
I have one more.
Okay.
And this was on my Instagram last night, if you follow me on Instagram. On the store Instagram, I should say. Look at this!
It's lovely.
Isn't that the best
This
ever?
is why I want to work on my April. It's so soft.
This is my Golfos
cute.
vest from Stephen West. It's my Westy Vesty. I don't know if I...
It's great.
It's a great hashtag. And you can see my massive... I have woven my ends in, but I haven't cut them off. I always do that. I weave the ends in and then block it and then trim them in case they move or whatever, so it looks a mess on the back. But this is going to be the back of my sweater, like this.
Also, if you get bored, it's a beautiful coaster.
No.
Or like a tablecloth.
All that knitting for that, no. And then so this is like, that's the back, and what you do is now my next piece is to knit a really long rectangle with this. It's a sideways garter, so it goes this way, and this one you actually applied, like you knit it on as you went down. And I was knitting this on the weekend at this retreat, and I had to I got halfway through, and then I messed up the slip stitch on the bottom, and I had to rip it out, and then I had to rip it. Yeah, not a thing to knit when you're drinking and hanging, laughing and goofing around with a bunch of people. Anyway,
vanilla sock to go around and around
exactly,
and around and around
exactly.
and around. Speaking of which, how the socks for Paul going?
They are. I've turned the heel and I'm onto the foot, and I have about I
haven't seen those in this much.
2 episodes. I have. Oh my gosh, they
jerk.
Yeah, she is. I told you I'm not a sock knitter. It's
No.
torture bringing those out. No, I was working on them, and I did 2 rows on them. It wasn't worth bringing them in this time. Anyway, so this red on the ends, and you knit a long rectangle, and then it seamed across the top, and then on the sides, but you leave I think you leave about this much room for your sleeve. And then I was really hoping I would have this finished, because I was like, oh, I just need to finish the back, and then I'll do all the rectangle at the retreat, and it didn't happen, but I'll have it for the next time, and I'm so excited to wear this, and
it's gonna look so cute.
That's why I blocked it last night, because I also wanted the proper measurements so that I can make sure the other piece matches, because this technically is 18 inches wide, and it was supposed to be 17.
You should wear it in Knit City.
Yeah, that's my goal.
I'm already planning Knit City outfits.
I think
I'll finish my
super
skirt,
fun.
and
then except I'll wear it in the picture with this, where it
No, please don't.
I'll
just be Mike and I will be on the other side of the booth being we do not know this person.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
and it's double stranded Holtz yarn, super soft. The red is actually Samarkand, but
We should bring the Holst to Knit City.
yeah, I think I'm going to, and I think I'm going to bring a ton. And you know what? I want the Coast from Holst. It's a fingering weight cotton wool blend, we actually have Coast in a thicker blend. But
the wool,
all
cotton.
the things, because
Yeah.
I think we're gonna bring a ton of Holst.
That and custom woolen mills and other stuff, because
Yeah.
some of the people will be there.
Some of our
the
dyers
future.
are we're getting
No,
No.
no. We have
Okay.
to wait till we have it.
okay.
Secrets.
Okay. Secrets coming.
So
that's all of my. I did, like I said, I worked on 3 different pairs of socks for half a row each. So we didn't bring those because you don't need to see them till they're done, because they're just socks. Okay, now she won't show me what's in this blanket, this thing in the bag, for which she had to bring a whole suitcase full of projects today.
Oh, it wasn't this. It was the giant thing.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Yeah. So we film at the store. I live nowhere close to the store. I literally had to bring a giant suitcase to bring that blanket. So I hope you all enjoyed that, because it's huge. Okay.
Yeah.
So in order to win at Stash Dash, because we're allowed to hold yarn doubled,
Competitive much?
Also, I just have a bunch of acrylic I want to get out of my stash. I am holding 3 strands of worsted weight acrylic
Oh my gosh.
together,
I'm so not winning this.
and then 2 strands of fingering weight. That it's actually the same yarn for this sweater, but after doing this sweater, I don't want to ever see. It's not the same colors, but the same yarn. It was $3. I never want to see it again. So I'm gonna warn you once again. Tacky colors. The green is Brian's fault. Once again, bought me yarn for reasons not thinking of anything. Stop looking. So I'm doing this on US 15s. I'm using Grandma's favorite
8mm, right? 15s?
10.
Oh yeah, okay.
Honestly, I should have done a 17. It's kind of dense.
Oh my.
So this is the thing.
Oh, it's not as big as I anticipated.
No, it's not big yet, but like there's
Oh,
4 balls
wow.
of yarn. So yeah, it's
It's like
it's
like
really
half,
dense.
It's 3/4 of an inch thick almost.
It's real dense. I know I should have done 17, but I didn't have any. This was the largest needle I had on hand.
It's almost 3/4 of an inch thick.
There's a theme to
That's
my knitting.
crazy.
The largest needle I had on hand.
Holy
It's
Jesus.
It is like the holes aren't that far, like that close together.
No, and it's not actually. It's not
It's
that
smooshy.
tight. Like it's
It'll-
a nice, like really.
it'll lose that.
Okay,
I should
I'm
actually
so
show
hauling out my carpet.
Okay,
This is the only way I'm gonna beat you.
so yeah, it's Grandma's favorite dishcloth. I'm using like a white. I don't want to stab you. Sorry, I realized
yeah.
I'm like these are really close to your face.
Yeah, they're pretty sharp too.
So I'm just using my Knit Picks interchangeables.
Do you want me to help you hold?
I was just gonna hold it up close so they could see. So it's kind of making a cool marled effect,
It's actually the
But-
green is not bad. Like it,
right? Well, like I wanted to tone it down, but it is kind of weird. As per tradition, apparently with my knitting, it's too dense in weird colors. So I don't want to take it out, but these are all the colors held together. So it's like a white and like a mustard and a gray and like this pea green color.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so this is going to be hopefully this is a charity blanket in theory, although if they hate it, I'll just save it and give it to someone.
you know
in
what?
my head, it looks like vegetable soup. So it looks like peas and carrots.
Pea green soup.
And like potatoes, like for the tan color.
Yeah.
So in my head, it's just my stash blanket on Ravelry. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep going till it's almost 30 inches across, and then I'll start decreasing. And this is like 2,000 meters.
It would be depending on which charity you
Cheating.
wanted to give it to. It would be really good for the the SPCA is always collecting blankets. It'd be a nice pad, like a dog blanket, like a dog blanket or a cat thing.
Small part of I don't want a cat. I'd rather give it to like a human.
Yeah.
Like it's weird colors, but I might just like put it in my baby gifts pile. I don't know. I just wanted to get rid of it,
fun.
and I kind of want to like knit more of these, but like on my bigger needles clearly.
I have all kinds of weird noise coming from outside.
Yeah.
It's the neighbors, I think. I don't know.
I hope so. If not, someone's trying to slowly break into the yarn store in the weirdest way possible.
While we're inside it, no less.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's that, and then my final whip. At least my final fiber related whip, and then I have a craft all the things.
Oh yeah.
Is I did some spinning yesterday because I was like, I need a spinning whip, so I brought my bobbin. I did not bring my wheel today.
That's pretty.
It's the Perendale that I got at Fibres West.
Oh right.
so I've never spun Perendale before, but it's these really pretty rainbow colors, and I realized that Greta gave me some black Perendale. So I'm going to apply this with some black, and I have a bunch of yarn that's like rainbow colors applied with the neutral. So I'm thinking
cool.
I'll probably knit a shawl at some point with all of them. And it's hummingbird fibers, or humming bee farm. I'm way off. Humming bee farm. And they're going to be at Knit City too, which is another reason must spin the thing. So excited. And it was really great. It's like 2 ounces. So I probably won't be that much yardage, but it's going to be part of a larger thing. And it was really nice to spin. Perendale's kind of like a longer staple, not the softest thing in the world, but it was really great. I spun out 2 ounces last night while watching Marsha's podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's that. Maybe I'll spin on the next podcast, but my wheel has yet to make it to Wet Coastals. Because it's big, but now that I'm just carrying suitcases.
Yeah,
Who
I need to
knows?
get a bag. So you have a craft all the things.
Yeah,
Let me
sorry.
do my brief little acquisitions.
This is still a whip, technically.
Oh, okay then.
I'm just what the heck is happening outside?
I'm gonna go peek.
Okay, you go peek. I'll talk about my cross stitching. Okay, so I couldn't sleep last night, and I actually did some work on my Will You Be My Neighbor cross stitch. So now it actually has all the words. It says, Will you be my neighbor? And it is super cute, and I got all the words done, so I wanted to show it off. I'm not sure how much progress I will get done on this, because I'm kind of in stash dash mode, and sadly, this stuff doesn't count for stash dash yet. So it now has words.
Fun.
Yeah, so I'll get started on like the bottom. It has some like yarn and things around this part, and then I'll move up to the other part. I'm a little bit worried that I cut this too small.
It does feel a wee bit small, but you could just, I don't know, you could just frame that as it is.
Yeah, I know.
Where did you get your hoop from?
Michael's.
Okay, because I like those wooden hoops, and when you go on Pinterest and stuff, they frame them really nicely and just really simple. And I can never find the simple wooden hoops that are just simple.
Yeah. I got mine at Michael's. You can get them at dollar store sometimes too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'll frame it. I definitely cut it a bit too small because my brain, I just looked at the size of the finished pattern and cut out slightly larger than that, like a dumb. But oh well.
I'm always amazed. Been watching the Legacy Knits podcast, and Sue on that does she does all kinds of really fancy cross stitch, and I'm always amazed the size of her fabric. Like,
it is huge.
It's huge, but
if you do want to stretch it, it's like a canvas, right?
Yeah.
I should have known better because I used to work in a frame shop, and I used to frame cross stitch
Yeah.
that you have to take it over the foam core and
then stitch the back or
and
whatever.
depending on how big it is, you literally put it around a wooden frame and stretch it like a canvas.
Yeah.
Like the Harry Potter one, which I can't believe you bought and are going to do, Sue.
That is so insane.
It's a $50 pattern.
Yeah.
There's
a ton of work in it. Like, it
no,
must
not
be.
that it's not worth it, but holy cross stitch.
Yeah. No, I almost bought. They have a really cool Canada one with all the little people, and I actually really want to get that one. I keep meaning to do it, but I've done nothing of the craft all the things, as you can see. So clearly, I did trace at one point. Did I talk about this before? I traced
only to me. I don't think you told them.
So I want to do embroidery. I embroider tea towels because it's super not cool. But then every time you dry your dishes, it's like, oh hey, I made this. Anyway, I found a pattern and I traced it onto my tea towel, and then I do it by this super fancy way of sticking the paper to the window and then sticking the thing over top on the window, and then you trace it like this, I'm
sure that's great for your back.
Yeah, I'm sure it is too. But it's like a really cheap light box.
Yeah.
And then I traced it all out, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, how come the writing is, there's like this one thing, it says cookbook, it's like a lobster and a chef, anyway, and it says cookbook on it at one point, and I'm tracing, it didn't notice I was tracing the letters backwards, and then I took a look at it, and I'm like, wait a second, this was supposed to be a transfer? It's designed to have been photocopied or not photocopied, but transferred on with an iron, so you flip it over and iron it down. So yeah, we just washed the tracing off, because I use those water-soluble pens, and I haven't got around to putting it back on again.
Oh, good. All right, you can now talk about
my acquisitions.
I realized we forgot two things. So talk about your acquisitions because we forgot these things and those ones.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab things that we forgot. We'll try not to shake the screen. I apologize if I shake the screen.
Oh, and I went to look at the noise. There was nothing outside. It must be from upstairs. So at the Sorrento retreat, there are always a number of vendors. Marianne's Yarns. Marianne from Smith & Hughes, she's usually there. She had some gorgeous yarns. Oh my gosh, I almost bought all of the things, and then I'm like, wait a second, we have them in the store. So another one was a wool store I'm so sorry, Anne, I've forgotten the name of your shop, but she has been there many years selling yarns and needles, and it's supposed to be, in case you happen to not have enough yarn or needles, but like that ever happens. Anyway, so I did find this yarn, which is super pretty. I was playing Yarn Chicken with it. Let's go up close so you can see all the nice tonal colors. And there's the tag. It's from the Dye Cauldron. Now, the Dye Cauldron, I met her, I've completely forgotten her name. I'm terrible at names. I do apologize. At years ago, at Knit City, when it was still at the Croatian Cultural Center, she was there with yarn. And I wouldn't say she was the first ever with Stellina, but she's the first dyer that I remember seeing with a lot of Stellina, and I remember being like, ooh, sparkly yarn.
Shiny things.
Yeah, it was fun. And anyway, so then she stopped dyeing because she went back to school. Can't imagine these people wanting to go back to school. I think she's a doctor or something, but jeez, I know, super smart lady. Anyway, she went back to school and stopped dyeing. And then now this is all hearsay, and if I'm completely wrong, I do apologize. I just picked this up from people at the retreat. She found blanks, undyed yarn in her stash, and decided, hey, let's just dye up the things because she had them. And so this was a last batch of stuff. And so these two yarns, they're both the same blue, which is called denim. They were sitting there, and they are 460 yards each, so it's 920 yards, so a sweater, or a little, summer cardi thing. And they were there, and I was playing Yarn Chicken, and every day I would go back, and they were still there, and they were still there, and they were still there, and finally I said, that's it, they're still there, I meant to have them, so I bought them. And so that's it's so squishy. It's superwash merino, 75%, and 25% nylon, and it will make a very fun little sweater. And it's so squishy.
Yay!
Okay. And that's all.
So we have a couple different pieces of shop news. Do you want to talk about that one, and then we can do that one?
Sure.
We have to draw for our sock hop.
Yay!
I'm not going to do that till the end.
Yes.
To watch the whole
suspense.
thing.
We should have mentioned at the beginning, and then we would suspense all the way through.
Yeah.
Did you count all the entries that we had?
No. You can make your nerdy data sheet about how many people knit what.
I like those.
Whatever.
Okay, I'll do that after, and we'll put it up in the show notes.
Okay, so you talked about the Purple Hat
so
thing.
it is Purple Hat time. The Purple Hat Drive is a campaign that is, it's actually international, but locally it's encouraged by the BC Children's Hospital. They have a, I forget what the official name is, unfortunately, because, my brain's melting. But it's from they have an organization to help and teach parents about the period of purple crying, which is a period of, it's a stage of baby growth, I suppose, where babies cry and cry and cry and their faces turn purple, and there's a particular pitch that is apparently incredibly infuriating, and it makes parents just a little bit like, why are you crying? And the tendency, unfortunately, is to, if you shake your baby, to be like, why are you crying? And the result they found is that you get shaken baby syndrome. So this is a campaign to help teach parents about this period of purple crying, and that it's totally normal and it's not your fault, and just, you just need to put your baby down and step away for a minute. And so anyway, they do it by, we knit and crochet purple baby hats. They need to be at least 50% purple, and in yarns that are machine washable, easy care, things that won't felt if they actually accidentally get tossed in the washer. Yeah. And we are collecting them until the official cutoff date is the 30th of September, but here at the store, if you could bring them in by the 28th of September, that gives us a couple of days to get them to Children's Hospital, and then they get distributed to maternity wards around BC, and they're given out to babies who are born in November and December, and however long they last, basically.
I was going to say, if you're local, bring them by.
Yes.
If you're going to ship them, I will put the address in the show notes. Please just ship them to them.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going to send them, you might as well just send it to them. Not that we don't love seeing your hats, but it would just save us a...
Yeah, it's...
So I'll put the
rather
the
than
address
double
in
up
the
on
show
postage,
notes.
we'll just,
Yeah. I'll put the address in the show notes, and you can send them there, and they will be super happy to have them.
Yes. And I've seen them everything from preemie to, ideally don't go too much bigger than they're supposed to be for newborns, so if they look like they fit an adult, they're probably a little too big.
No, but if they're soft, you can probably donate them for chemo caps.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Hats of Hope or Halos of Hope. Oh my goodness. Or there's a couple of other chemo charities.
Yeah, there's so many.
You should do a chemo hat knit along at some point.
Yeah.
I haven't done those in forever. Should look into it locally.
Yeah. We should make sure we have the right
should
yarns
talk to
and stuff,
Uli.
too.
I'm sure she knows something about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because her daughter's going through chemo.
Ooh.
Which is sad, but she means she probably knows.
Yeah.
Talk to her. Maybe in the future. Not because we're going to do our Canada Cal, which we haven't worked out details on. So next time on that.
Next time, yes. But yeah. So, we do have a display. If you need patterns, you can go, the website is clickforbabies.org is the main international website. Basically any hat would do, but try not to do too many embellishments or anything that baby could choke on, or, and again, 50% purple. So if you have a self-pattering yarn, or you want to mix up stripes, or, all the details are there, and there's some pattern ideas, and that's it.
So the other shop news we have is we got new colors of Elfin Tweed in.
This yarn.
So there's more colors than this, but I just grabbed the new colors / the ones that are haunting my soul.
Oh, they're so pretty.
So this is a thing. Isn't it pretty? I want a whole sweater of this one, please.
Yes. That's Lagoon, that color. Oh,
yes.
Of course. Oh, I love this one. Hey, I hadn't seen this.
Right?
Bernadette put them away. I wasn't here, and
it was great. I did it after closing, and I was listening to 90s hip hop and putting away yarn.
But the stripe options. Oh my goodness.
I really want to make a paper dolls. Pullover with a Totoro yoke, which I think would be great because the gray is also a perfect Totoro. But anyhow, so this is fingering weight, merino, llama, bamboo, and then Donegal. Which I hate the fact that they call it Donegal.
It's a little flecky tweety bits.
Yeah, no, but just it's a place, and I tried to talk to people at the official Donegal mill when I was in Ireland, and they had no answers for me, which was super annoying. But it's very nice and soft. We have hang on, I'm gonna grab the play date. I'm just getting up all the time.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of colors of this. We now officially have all of the colors. When I first brought it in a couple of years ago, I had 10 or something, and then we've got a few more, and now we officially have them all.
So we knit this.
It's so cute.
Well, Glenda knit this. It's a Playdate cardigan by Tin Can Knits. I think
it's a 6 to 12 month size.
Genevieve is the child.
Oh.
Knit More Girls. Knit one for Rex.
Oh, okay.
I think I was talking about it because you like pick up and knit down. I remember.
Yeah.
Why can't I not remember her name? The main one, not Gigi.
Oh. I don't know either.
Oh my god. Okay, we clearly need coffee. But yeah, how much yarn did this use?
So the pattern was supposed to use 2 skeins. These are 50-gram skeins, and according to the pattern, it said 2 skeins, and I used about 1.5.
There you go.
And so I have quite a bit left over, and I'm trying to do a scrappy thing with it, but I need to get another color.
Yeah. It is hand washed, so this would be a baby sweater for a knitter.
Yeah.
But
or you could do it. Just think of it as a mini-size example of what you could make for yourself.
That as well.
Greta made a sweater out of this color. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So we have new colors.
Yeah.
Is the point. And they would
So
look
nice.
beautiful in color work. Which in my head is what I... Look at this. Cashmere, 3-color cashmere shawl.
Oh my gosh.
Cowl.
Or the cowl, yeah.
Yeah, Elise just did a cowl in neutral colors.
Yeah.
Neutrals.
To be fair, she came in when we didn't have it was right before we got all the new colors.
Yeah.
So she did it in more subtle ones, but
Knitter's wedding bouquet, just like full of skeins.
Lots and lots of yarn.
Okay, so for the sake of time,
yeah.
Unfortunately,
10 minutes till the store opens.
So, for the sock hop, everyone that came into the store got a picture of their socks taken.
Yeah.
Some of them are awful.
The pictures, not
socks.
the photographs.
The socks are lovely.
I mean, the pictures are bad, not the socks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because Polaroids are really hard to aim. At least mine is. So everyone who entered on the website, I cut out your name in paper.
Some of the early ones we managed to actually get photographs. Let's see. See here, random socks. We're just gonna. Whose are these? These were Heather Mitchell's socks.
Heather Mitchell knit like 30 pairs of socks.
She knits crazy. Florence knit a ton of socks. That's why I want the statistics. I love to see. So we just, this sock hop, it was our Wet Coast Wool sock hop. It started in January, and it just ended at the end of May. And the idea was that anytime you knit a pair of socks, any yarn, any pattern, didn't matter, bring them in or send us a photo. And now we're going to draw.
And I was thinking that we were going to do some opal or a different sock yarn and a pair of sock blockers, which are new.
Yeah.
Which we have behind us.
See them just above Bernadette's head.
I was also thinking...
There.
I was also thinking that I might make a bag as a separate price.
Oh, fun.
I have no idea what fabric, but we're going fabric shopping, so maybe I'll
Yes.
keep an eye out for things. But yeah, so do you want to draw one? And then if we get a picture or a paper one, we'll try and make sure the other one is a different one, just because the paper ones are quite small, and I felt bad, but there's a lot of names.
Okay, well...
This is also the super scientific way of doing this. Maybe also if we find out how many... This probably is a lovely sound on the microphone.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe if we find out who knit the most.
Yeah, I think we should do something for who knit the most, because...
But I did not count, so we'll figure that out.
I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, so we might announce more things elsewhere in a different way. So
These socks!
So Jill Merrill, you knit... Or Merle, I don't know.
No, it's... Meryl, I think she just... Actually, she sent me another pair just yesterday as well. And, in time for... Not yesterday. It was in time for the draw.
Leave it out. Leave it out.
Oh, sorry.
I need to know who it is.
So,
okay.
Jill, we will be contacting you. Yay, Jill!
Once we figure out what the prizes and stuff are. Yes. But you want a thing! Okay, now I'm going to purposefully try and pick a paper one, because they are, the papers are tiny slips, and I feel like a jerk. We didn't make them all big. But...
I think next time we'll have to do it,
We're going to do it on the Ravelry board random number generator.
Yeah, and you only get one post. You put all your pictures into one post.
Oh, no. Because then you can't do that for random number generator, because they each need a post.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You do not watch
Clearly,
podcasts.
this is why Bernadette takes care of this stuff.
Okay, so the second winner is Ravelry user Diva Dar.
Ooh.
So she entered a lot of socks on the boards, but I will put her username here. Her name wasn't on her Ravelry page, so I went to look. But yeah, so we'll figure out what the other prizes are, and we'll get in contact with you guys via Ravelry message, and then also we'll figure out whoever knit the most amount of socks, and we will put that here.
Yes.
So yay for you! Yay. You knit this many socks. Yay you! I'm so sorry. I was not thinking about it. We need more coffee. It was a weird day. But yeah, so thank you everyone for participating, and your socks were all amazing. And
I love, part of why I like to do this is because I love seeing all the things that people make, all the different patterns, and there's so many crazy designs and all kinds of stuff. I think we'll do this kind of thing again, but not till the fall.
Yeah.
And
we're going to work out the details for the Canada cowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sew a bag for the Canada cowl.
Yes.
Maybe some stitch markers. We'll figure it out. We'll hopefully have all the details ironed out for next week.
Yes.
We may also have a special guest next week.
Oh, yeah.
We will see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I think that's everything, mainly because we have to open the store.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
So, thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
I'm Carla, I'm Knit Nix.
I'm Glenda from Wet Coast Wools.
I'm Marcia. I'm Fairy Little from Twitch and Stitch.
I'm Shannon from Socksetra.
I'm Priscilla, otherwise known as Scylla.
Hi, Bernadette.
Hi, Bernadette! I cut you off, I'm sorry.
1, 2, 3, hi Bernadette.
Hi, Bernadette! And let's say hi to Vicky. Hi, Vicky!
Something just dropped on my
Oh,
head.
and Joanna.
Hi Joanna!
Hi, Joanna! Anyway, we've been here at this amazing retreat all weekend, and I've had an amazing time.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. What did you guys think of your courses?
Ours was
Classes.
fabulous.
It was.
Yeah.
It was all about learning to fix your mistakes, which I make many of.
Carla and I were in the same course, and so we fixed a lot of mistakes. Learned the Kitchener stitch.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mhm.
It's going to be a lot less beginner questions with Scylla.
And by that, she means all of the beginner questions.
Because I didn't know these things existed, and now mind blown.
Yeah.
And the three of us were in a class together called Start With an Idea.
Yeah, designing class, and it was a lot of fun.
I was completely in over my head.
Oh no, you totally learned stuff.
I learned so much. I
Just
really
wait,
did.
next year you'll have a sweater, I can see it.
Yeah.
Did you actually cry?
Close a couple times.
I almost cried today. I
Really?
spilled
Really?
coffee all over
Oh.
Shannon's stuff.
Oh dear.
It happens. I feel like the thing that I'm learning the most is to just relax. Honestly, is just to relax. Like, one of the things that Paulette said to us was, "There's no knitting police. Like, if you do it wrong, whatever, figure it out."
Yeah, just take
Design
it
feature.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you don't like it
Yeah.
enough, just take it out. But if you can live with it, it's a design feature. Maybe do it on this other side so it looks like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
meant
That's
to do it.
awesome.
Yeah.
We got a lot of a pattern is just a guideline.
Did you find your bliss this weekend?
I found my bliss. Yeah.
I'm right here.
Her name's Shannon.
Blissful.
I sat across the table from her so I could stare at her the whole time.
The thing I love the most is that I've met you guys like on camera, and
Yeah.
I actually the first day I came, I went right up to Shannon and I said, "Hi, Shannon," because I've met her.
Yeah, and you feel like you already know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you do,
Yes.
but there's also like this extra layer. Like I feel like I'm pretty much like I am on camera, but I felt like that all about all of you. But then meeting you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you even more.
No, I'm not like
That's
I
so
am
mutual.
on camera. I'm so
Yeah, you're a little bit different.
because I'm nervous on camera. And
Yeah.
I'm new at this, so
Yes.
Yeah.
but yes.
Whereas I think I'm a bit of a letdown because I'm so. And then in person, I'm a lither bit more chill.
No, you're
Not even.
not
It's
even.
been
Not a letdown at all.
delightful.
Yeah,
There's
so
such
fun.
liars.
But also, the editing is amazing because you can like you can be like switched on, and then you could be like, look through my nose.
Yeah.
Then you're like, and I'm back.
There's a few parts of the weekend I'd like to edit out.
My buttons, I would like to
I love your button.
Her buttons are adorable.
Uh-oh. Sounds a little graphic. Anyway, that was great. Yeah, I had a great weekend. The food was fab. I stayed in the campsite. The company was great. I'm the only one who brought my husband, but that's okay. He went cycling, so that's fine.
And
I
your
think-
dog.
Oh, and my crazy dog, yeah.
Yeah.
The one that scared Shannon. Sorry, Shannon.
And Syl and I were in a room next to Shannon and Vicky, and we like tapped messages to each other through the walls.
I think one of my favorite parts of the week was going to bed and getting a message from Marcia as I was going to bed, a love message, and then waking up to a love message.
How come I didn't get one? I didn't get one either.
That's so funny. What was your favorite, Glenda?
I just like
I like being in design courses and Paula just knows so much information, and you just can ask her a question and she goes on for like 10 minutes about it, and you learn so much from that one question. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And and I figured out how to make my yarn not biased, so it can actually be made into a sweater. That's awesome.
And I learned what bias is.
I have absolutely no idea. No, I do. What
Bias is the way it leans, right? We get a
No,
question,
bias is on
Priscilla.
an angle, isn't it? The diagonal? The bias?
It's a natural lean to the texture of the fabric, which if your yarn is spun a particular way, you don't want it to bias. You want to knit a rectangle that stays a rectangle.
Okay.
But a bias in yarn will make it a parallelogram, which is usually a bad
So I
thing.
didn't know what bias is. I didn't know. I do.
I didn't know either.
I think there's, like in sewing, there's ways to take a fabric and use its bias to advantage.
Yeah.
In knitting, I think it's usually just don't want bias, period.
Yeah, because most patterns aren't knit for bias.
Yeah.
They're knit for
Although I wonder,
balanced yarn.
I didn't ask her if, when you knit on the bias on purpose, if you took a biased yarn and knit on the bias where you decrease on one side, increase on the other,
You
would
cancel out the bias.
or or would it just make it super
or would
you'd
it
have to do
embrace
the
the math
math
on that to find out how many stitches per inch it's moving over kind of thing to work out.
And you wouldn't want to do a sweater with it, but a really cool shawl or something could use that to huge advantage.
Yeah, because you could embrace the bias.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
What was your favorite part, Carla?
Just meeting everybody and just hanging out with like-minded people. It was
Yeah.
really great to just sit and look around and see everybody like actively knitting and talking about their projects and learning about their lives. It was lots of fun. Lots of fellowship for sure.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite?
That was probably close to my favorite too. Like I loved learning the little things that I didn't know, but there was so much knowledge. There was 63 people here plus 4 instructors.
Yeah.
And in
So
the
there's
evenings,
like 3,000 years of knitting experience.
and there's been people who've been here since the very first one 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, just sitting and knitting with everybody at all different ages, all different levels. There was no divide. Like it was all, and everybody was sharing their knowledge and their lives and their sarcasm and their silliness, and it was really, really wonderful. I think there was a group of us last night that were up until 12:30ish.
Was I part of that, or did you party after?
No,
went to
you were
bed?
part of that. You went to
Okay,
bed
good.
late. And we were just up and we were talking and we were laughing, and I don't remember the last time I had this much fun on a weekend.
Vicky was crying. She was laughing so hard.
Yeah,
Poor girl.
I
She was like weeping in the corner. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
just like bawling.
And are you coming back next year?
Yeah,
You think?
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I want to knit a sweater for my iPad when I learn to
Yes.
steek, do the bottom of the Kitchener stitch, and Fair Isle.
Oh,
like
boy.
everything about that is magical to me.
Yeah, that's a good legacy project for sure.
I did love Scylla's messages, but I do have two other favorite parts. Was just realizing that, like, because I was in what I felt like was a pretty high level course, and I started to feel overwhelmed a few times. But I thought, like, this is accessible to me as long as I keep an open mind and keep learning and keep trying things. And it's because I started to catch myself shut down a few times and think, well, I'm never going to be this kind of knitter, and I'm never going to reach that level. And I thought, well, that's silly. Like, these people all started out with the same amount of knowledge that I have, and
Absolutely.
so it's totally accessible to me. So just sort of reminding myself of that, I feel like that's a daily thing I have to do. But then also just the community, like finding, like I feel like you're my friends, and while we were friends before we got here, I feel like I know you all better and on a different level. And just community is such a nice thing to have. And one woman shared something about having a hard year, and she just said, keep your girlfriends close. And I just thought, your friends are so important. And when I'm with people, which I'm often not because I'm a bit of a hermit, it's such a good reminder for my heart to stay connected to people.
Yeah, and this is our tribe.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. Like, it feels like we found our clan.
Yeah. You know what? I was amazed. I come from Alberta, and I traveled, the way we drove, 6 hours.
And we're so glad you did. We prefer you to
6
make it in
hours, and I
7.
thought you guys were. This was close to everybody here. It's close to some of you, but the people coming from Vancouver had to have a really long drive as well.
Yeah.
And so, like, my knitting community just got bigger.
Yeah. It really actually blew me away that Nelson is so far away from here, because it's still in BC, but it's a 7-hour drive.
It's just the roads are just to get there. It's
all
not
the
as
mountains you gotta go
accessible.
around.
Yeah.
Makes it harder.
So.
Well, ladies, I've had a wonderful time, and I got to get on the road back to Calgary. I've really enjoyed myself, and thanks for sharing yourselves with me, and I look forward to meeting you again soon.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. Are you going to come back next year?
Well, I think so. I mean, life changes, but yes, I plan to. I would love to. Yeah,
Wonderful.
And we're gonna bring some of you.
Yes, we are.
Meet us and join us.
All of you.
All of you.
Nikki, we'll see you back here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Until next time.